Hello, popcorn junkies. How are we? How are you? Here we are. Sorry, I've literally just come in from a from a crazy run. Oh. This is the main trailer for Barbie. I can't believe I'm saying this. As a grown man with an admittedly quite pink face. She's quite pink too. Barbie. What was my first ever experience of a Barbie doll? It was being somewhat perturbed because I didn't necessarily know there should have been anything interesting there, though that's not true, by the fact that underneath her dress it just said Barbie. It was kind of printed, wasn't it? And it said Barbie all round her, all round down there. Come on, it's what boys did. It's what boys do. So Barbie, yet emblematic, household name. Our girls used to watch the animated Barbie films an awful lot. We had them on DVD, VHS. For those of you who are too young to know what either of those things are, they're not sexually transmitted diseases. Don't worry. So Barbie, everyone's had a Barbie. Everyone, apart from obviously me. I mean, everyone's engaged with Barbie. It's a household name. It's like Action Man, although Action Man now isn't really a thing, is it? Anyway, Barbie the film. Barbie the film. This is the film by Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig, she of Lady Bird, she of Little Women, she being the avant-garde not avant-garde, but the sort of indie darling of Hollywood. She who acted in Frances Ha. And of course, she is also too the partner of Noah Baumbach. And Noah Baumbach is a director in his own right. He did White Noise recently with Adam Driver. Didn't go down too well. He did Marriage Story. Went down all right with some people. I wasn't a huge fan. So indie darlings, and they're trying to. I think just in the very fact that they're deciding to do this, there's some kind of really cool, hip, urban indie kind of statement because they're making a film about Barbie. Now, the teasers and the trailers that we've seen before, it stars Margot Robbie. I've said it many times before. Margot Robbie needs this to hit because she's had a few turkeys. Thinking Amsterdam. I'm thinking Babylon. Not that necessarily Babylon was a particularly bad film, but it was a bloated film. So she kind of needs this to work, I think. We've got Ryan Gosling in there. Always an odd choice. And yet, if I think about Ryan Gosling separate to Barbie, and I was asked to find his parallel kind of personality or star status within action figures, I'd have probably gone somewhere quite close to Ken. So the fact that he's been cast as Ken is quite good. Sort of straight, nice looking, a bit plasticky, a bit stiff, a bit inexpressive. I mean, that's not to say he hasn't been none of those things, in fact, in other performances. But I have found over the years that I feel like I get a one note from, Blade Runner 2049, what was the other, La La Land. I don't know, there's sort of almost a sort of something inexpressive about him. He's sweet, but he doesn't rock my boat. And so, of course, what have we been given? We've been given a riff on Stanley Kubrick with this new film in the first teaser, with baby girls kind of smashing dolls, a bit like the opening scene of 2001: A Space Odyssey, with the jawbone and the gorillas or the monkeys, the primates kind of smashing shit up. And there's there's the strange kind of rectangular shape just before them. In this case, it's a giant Barbie. In the form of Margot Robbie, and they're smashing up other dolls. I quite like that. That was quite cool. And then we had a very sort of camp and very bright and garish and incredibly fizzing, so rich and saccharine that it almost made my ears bleed. How pink it was. Now, the last trailer. Now, of course, when we reacted to it, everyone was like, yeah, well, this is going to be meta. This is going to be a comment on femininity. It's going to be a feminist text. It's going to look at the ways in which women have been hijacked, harnessed, and constrained by sort of, societal kind of prejudice and preordained roles and all this kind of stuff. And of course, Barbie is a quintessential example of femininity that certainly in the past has been caged within a sort of, misogynistic, toxic, masculine kind of world. She has to look a certain way, she has to be a certain way, she wears certain things, she looks and does certain things in certain ways and all that kind of stuff. So this is presumably absolutely going to flip that on its head. It's going to be meta, it's going to invert this. It's gone. What we've had so far is shiny pink stuff. We've had the packaging. We've got our Barbie packaging, but now we're going to get the Barbie doll out. That's what this trailer, I feel, is promising me, is we're going to get the Barbie doll out of the packet. And that's the exciting bit with any action figure and any doll. It's getting out, hearing the sound of the plastic going quack, 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 and pulling the things off and worrying you're going to pull her head off because there's that thing around her neck and the thing around her arms that you're pulling and you're so impatient you can't do the twirly thing at the back. So metaphorically, that's what this trailer reaction is going to be about. We were very much getting riffs on The Truman Show, that Jim Carrey film where there's that sense of being watched, monitored, controlled, filmed, contained. Pleasantville is another great sort of reference point out. Toby Maguire and Reese Witherspoon film. And I was also getting WandaVision vibes. And I think the idea, inverting that sort of 1950s kind of suburban American thing, the tropes. I love that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping it's going to take us that way. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get the wrapping undone. Let's get the packaging open. Let's rip the, what they call the blister pack. Let's rip the blister pack open. Let's squeeze that. All right, squeeze it. You get the idea. I'm going to shut up now. Okay, let's hit play. You ready? Perfect feet.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
Wow.
So cool.
You find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes.
This is the best day ever.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
Nice.
When my heart breaks,
Some things have been happening that might be related.
when my world shakes.
Cold shower, falling off my roof, and my heels are on the ground. What do I have to do? You have to go to the real world. You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours. The first one, the high heel. You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
Closer I am to find. Closer I am to find.
I'm coming with you.
Okay. Wow, this is the real world. What's going on? Why are these men looking at me?
Yeah, they're also staring at me.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
If this got out, this could mean extremely weird things for our world. This would be catastrophic!
We haven't played with Barbie since we were like 5 years old.
No one rests until this doll is back in a box.
Even if nobody else sings along.
Humans only have one ending.
Get that Barbie!
Ideas live forever.
No, I won't let you do just one appendectomy,
But I'm a man.
but not a doctor.
Can I talk to a doctor?
You are talking to a doctor.
And I need a clicky pen?
No.
A sharp thing?
No.
There he is. Doctor!
Somebody get security.
Is Barbie, are you still in doubt?
I feel like I've been force-fed Chewits or some such plastic, terrible additives food. Okay. So it went the way we've all been thinking. It went the way we've all been suggesting. It went the way that lots of you have been sharing in. Yes, you can invoke The Truman Show, Pleasantville, WandaVision. I was reminded again there, actually, as she was running across the kind of office, the don't worry, darling kind of idea. I thought there was a bit of that in there, that sort of Stepford wife thing, the Stepford Wives thing. So you've got all of that. And yet, I don't know about you guys, it wasn't getting me, I wasn't feeling an even cleverer sub thing going on. I was expecting it to kind of go down to another layer of cleverness. I like that moment where she says, does anyone think about dying? Great. That's really good. That's powerful. That's thoughtful. That takes us beyond the superficiality of what this doll is all about. But then we go into, Will Ferrell, I'm an enormous Will Ferrell fan, but as soon as you've got him running along corridors and using pink drumsticks and saying, get that doll back in her package, is there escape to the real world? Where are they coming? Where are they escaping from? Is this about trapped toys? Because if it is like that, do you see what my dilemma is here? If they are all essentially dolls that have simply, in the reality of the film, been given personalities, and they decide to come to the real world, are we looking at a sort of enchanted thing? Do you remember with Amy Adams? In which case, animated creatures trying to assimilate into the real world. That's what we got with the Venice Beach bit there, where she punches him in the face. All of that felt a bit literal. It felt like a literal kind of time travel Well, Enchanted. It felt like, I felt like I was getting a lot of Enchanted there, but Enchanted was working on the cleverness of twisting the idea of the Disney princess and the narrative. But maybe that's what this does. Maybe this is about... But then Ryan Gosling's in there, being a doctor and all that kind of jokey stuff. I don't know. I wanted it to hit its target. It didn't quite hit its target for me. I actually preferred how I was left feeling with the previous two. And this, by almost trying to put a bit more meat on the bones, and by taking Barbie out of her packaging, I kind of want to put her back in the packaging and look at her for a bit longer on the shelf. Do you? Do you get what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? I feel it's riffing on all those films we've been talking about, but my worry is that all those films that we're talking about have already done this kind of thing a lot better.